What is up, YouTube? It is your boy, echo-YGO, coming at you guys from the damn airport, bro.
We in here.
I got my boy Tony here. He got, what is it, 3rd place at the YCS
Yes,
with
sir.
Diva Heroes.
With you.
Yes, sir.
Team Nexus, baby.
Team Nexus, baby. Let's see what you got, bro.
So I cooked up Diva Hero. I think I was the only Diva Hero in Top Cut. I didn't cook up anything too crazy. It's been the same thing. I've been playing through a lot of the SoCal retro tournaments the last couple months, and I've just done really well with it. And I think it performed really well yesterday.
Hey,
as
congratulations.
bricky as the deck is. Thank
Congratulations. I'm acting like I'm not the one that won with you, too.
It's okay. You knew. You were there. You saw the play. So,
Let's go.
We did it, baby. So, and again, that was awesome. YCS Vegas was amazing.
Amazing. Let's see what you got, bro.
Yeah, let's get in there. I'll start you off here. My hero package. You know, you gotta run the.
Oh.
You gotta run the searcher, and I play a very thin package. You don't see ocean in here. You don't see anything extra or any alias. I try to build this to really be combo based, little dead draws, and just kind of get straight right to the point. And usually when you're playing off your miracles, your Ab-Zero becomes another hero.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to really need an extra name in there. I think playing with the 5 is enough. You only play 3 miracles. Ab-Zero usually creates another one for you. So in a sense, I don't think you need any more than the 5. And I think that's good. So a lot of people say you need another Rota target. It's preference. It's preference. And then getting into my water engine, play the little boy.
Little boy.
Put some respect on her name.
And
man.
triple gals.
Make sure you gotta. This is Diva Hero, not just Hero. All right, so you gotta put some respect on her name. And
Yes,
Boy
sir.
Boy Wonder, the always in your hand.
Fuck this guy, bro.
The always in my hand. Turn 1. The Raikou defender, bro. Like he's out there to just take Raikou bait. He's bottomless bait. But he's there for the 5s, and you just gotta have another great target. Sadly, the lost Blue Breaker just wasn't around yet. But this is just the straightforward package. You play the Treeborn Frog to go with the Future Fusion that you're going to see later on. It's great to come back because you play triple Caius, and the back rows you play are kind of mostly are chainable. Yeah. So you're kind of wide open a lot in the back row. You're only setting 1 or 2 things. So Frog is very versatile, and if it comes back along with an Ab-Zero, it's another body, and it gives your Ab-Zero an extra like 500 boost. So it's that little water boost that he gets. So just little points here and there to kind of get closer to that lethal point in an OTK kind of combo deck. And then getting into the dark package.
Yes, sir.
This is my favorite. This is kind of like my favorite theme of all
Champion
time.
pack, let's go.
Champ pack. Shout out Joaquin from the 4 Horsemen for that right there.
Oh, my boy right here.
Yeah, shout out. So those are the
Hey, you
little
didn't
guys.
shout me out when you showed the Stratos, bro.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my boy hooked me up with the Stratos for topping with him yesterday.
Let's go.
Shout out Echo.
Hell yeah.
That's my boy, man. So those are the little guys that you run. Your Greffer is there for just the kill combos. I know a lot of people, Oscar, Ruben.
Dude, Oscar Iwano. I love this guy.
Yeah, great, amazing SoCal player.
And Ruben Santana.
Got a lot of tips from him. Ruben Santana, amazing player as well.
Love this guy, yeah.
But a lot of players kind of either go Greffer or they go Armageddon Knight. I find Armageddon Knight really grindy. Yes, he avoids bottomless. But then that bottomless, I feel like, is later used on your Ab-Zero anyways, or something big that you want, that body you want to keep. Yeah. So Greffer kind of can get that dark and gray for you, and it also sets up that OTK by discarding the malicious, normal summoning the Diva. That normal summon Diva is so powerful, you don't want to waste your normal summon, other than really on a Caius, a Diva, or a Stratos in this deck. Those are really the 3 normal summons you're looking for the most and make it impactful. And this just also sets up your Dark Arm plays. It gets rid of your second malicious if you have it in hand, so that you can dump the second Mally, send a Plague, stack that dead Mally, and kind of make that live again. So Greffer just creates more lines, especially if you're going for the OTK kind of area. Yeah. Armageddon Knight's great, but I just find it too grindy for me.
Yeah, and Armageddon Knight is not as buff as this guy.
And he's just not as buff, bro. He's
not him, bro.
He's not him. And then I play 2 hand traps. I tested this for a while with 1 hand trap versus 2 hand traps, and I have found more success having both. There's a crazy play in this format, and everybody knows it's Tribute Caius, banish whatever you have, poke for 24. Yeah. In some cases, it's banish whatever you have, take 1,000, and poke for 24. This deck plays a few 6s in here. You know, you're playing your 2 Mallies plus your Caiuses already, so it's nice to be able to kind of drop a drag, and make plays with your Mally on their live cut. Like the coolest play you can make, one of the best ones is drop that trag after you take a Caius.
Drop a Mally.
You discard the Mally to take their Caius, and then you drop a Diva, banish your Mally, get another Mally, and you're bored. And that's
Make
lethal.
Stardust.
That's lethal.
Yeah.
And that's lethal because they left the Caius just sitting there.
Yeah.
After, and then they have to deal with the track too. So it just creates more time for you to, as you're looking for your combo pieces, to get an extra turn or two as you're fishing for that water, that hero sometimes. And then of course, bang!
The main man.
The main man, bro. The best card of the format.
The main
dude.
man.
I play 3. I don't even need to say why we play him. He's the greatest card in Edison format. He's the man, bro. He's the man.
Yeah.
That's why there's a $6,000 jumbo of him, bro. He is.
Hey,
the
we
man.
didn't take the 6,000 one, but we
got
took
the little one. And
we
then
took
my
the
last monster is, shout out to Izzy B.
Izzy B.
The dad there. So yeah, we played the one dad. He comes out sometimes a lot against the YU Turbo match. A lot of people ask me like, what's the one thing you cite a lot for YU Turbo?
Yeah.
It's Dark Arm Dragon.
Let me see that. Let me see that real quick.
Yeah. So
That's some
I feel
expensive
like
shit.
maybe it's me, but I feel like when I have the Dark Arm Dragon, I try to create that play. And when I'm in my value match, I'm already expecting to see 2 oppressions. And I have a lot of cards that combat that oppression already. And so I don't want to have to get in my head to have to play a grindy game and manage to get to 3 darks to just maybe play my Dark Arm.
Yeah.
So Dark Arm for me comes out a lot in the sideboard. And then I'll kind of go through with that once we get there. And then now we're into the spells here. You got Triple Miracle, best card. Self-explanatory, gets rid of 2 heroes that are in the grave, banishes them, and then you get to bring out that big absolute 0 boy. In some situations you might make the Earth Gaia, but Miracle Fusion, probably one of the top 5 cards of the format. Gives you a free big body that blows a lot of things up, and it's kind of the theme of the OTK revolves around this card. And then I was able to actually get all 3 off back to back to back to win our top 3 match. And the guy just couldn't deal with the miracle.
I know. Shout out to the frog guy, bro.
Yeah, shout out to the frog guy. I think it was Iggy, Team VA. So yeah, shout out to those guys, man. They were a real wholesome team to play. Yeah. But yeah, I really got super crazy lucky that game and was able to blow up with 3 miracles back to back to back turns. And that sealed the deal. So card of the weekend for me, definitely Miracle Fusion. And then getting into all the one-ofs, I play a Future Fusion. And that's
this card is fucking broken, bro.
Turn 1, dumps a Malicious and a Frog. 2 instant +1s. You get an Ab-Zero later on. So it already creates just problems, and like it makes your opponent start thinking, what plays do they have to follow up? So Future Fusion is an amazing card. If you open this, a majority of the time and you get your setup, you don't even need the Future Fusion to go off. The Future Fusion going off is a plus for me. I need the dumping. The dumping is what's important. And then the Allure of Darkness. And I'm going to the Rhoda, Gold Sark, and then we got our 2 gimme cards. Our 2 gimme that.
This is an unfair card.
The 2 gimme those. The Snatch, the Keep It for a little bit.
Big noggin right here.
And then we get into Spell and Trap Destruction. We go the Heavy, the MST.
Yeah.
And then I just play those 11 traps, man. I don't get into like a crazy spell heavy engine.
Yeah.
They're all impactful, powerful spells, and when I want to play them, I play them with purpose. And with this deck, I find myself holding a lot of those power spells until it's ready to just drop them all, miracles, to get to the finish line.
Yeah.
And then getting into traps, I do play 10 traps. The trap lineup
Is 10 traps normal?
So it depends on where you're looking at. So shout out to a true hero, one of the pioneers.
What a humble guy, bro.
Yeah, bro. He followed me the whole tournament to keep up with my record and like what I played and gave me tips on what to do.
Lovely guy.
So an amazing community leader for sure.
Yeah.
Showing up and just being I guess just an awesome friend.
Yeah.
In the community.
Yeah.
So in his his version is less traps, more win,
Yeah.
more OTK. And I've noticed as the meta has shifted with a lot of YU Turbo, it's hard to not make games grindy. And that is Diva Hero's worst matchup, in my opinion, is going against the YU Turbo, and the crutch is the main deck oppression. It's a big crutch to have to play through the right codes, the advantage, the early advantage, and they try to build on you. It's just tough for you to deal with a lot of that. And so I kind of have been tweaking. That's the part that I've been tweaking the most, I'd say, in the last few months, is just getting that side deck down, or the traps down to something that stops kind of a little bit of everything, but you don't feel completely defenseless. So the only thing I play 2 ofs or multiples of are going to be Bottomless and Wind Blast. The Bottomless is just the Blackwing Hate. The you gotta play 2 an Edison format card.
But I think it's the best removal trap in the game.
Agreed.
Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees. It's a good card.
We play the Wind Blast. I love the discard traps because we play all the cards that need to be dumped. We play the Treeborn Frog, the Mallees, the Plague Spreader, so it's kind of a free +1. Sets your opponent back a turn. It just creates plays for you to generate more plays. So it's a set them back so that you can go forward twice. It's kind of how I look at it, and that's how I play with the card. If I'm not able to set you back and progress, I typically hold it, and I think you need to notice that at times during the YCS. You would probably see me hold a Mallee, but not even want to set the Wind Blast because I couldn't make a play with the Mallee later on, or I was missing the Diva so that I could get the plus back. So that's my theory on that. Is I like to hold those and only play them when I can usually generate a +2 out of it. So that I can really be forward while my opponent is back 1 turn as well. And it's amazing for the sideboard, knocks the oppression out. It's just an answer eater too. It answers a lot of things. And then I played the
Go format one of
Go format one of Bang Bang, TT Mirror, self-explanatory, the Yugi Moto, and
Kaiba Corp Bling.
Kaiba Corp Bling. And then I played the 1D Prison. This is an Oscar Ruano tech right here. I used to not play the D Prison, and he told me that I needed to because it buys you that extra turn sometimes. It's an extra trap to just bump that percentage up of protection you need. And sometimes Diva Hero just doesn't set enough cards to feel safe. Like, cool, I can make a board, but what happens, if they try to go all in on my board? So even just having an extra battle trap to pair with the Bottomless, the Wind Blast, the Mirror Force, the Ab-Zero that sits out there, it just gives you an extra oomph of protection in there. It kind of raises that percentage of defense up a tad. And then I play 3 more 1-ups.
Oh, before you get to the trap, if you guys didn't know, we keep mentioning this guy named Oscar Ruano. He tops a lot of. He actually wins a lot of the SoCal events. So he's the guy that wins all the PS5s and stuff. Just for you guys' information, he's just a person that's really good at the game. So we keep mentioning him. So just so you know. And then
play the Dust Shoot.
Oh, DT.
The Return.
Yeah,
I sold my super this weekend. The Return is just cracked. I only usually, I'd say. You played with me this weekend, so we had a lot of the conversations. 9 out of 10 games in game 2 and 3, that card stays in the side deck for me. It's an amazing surprise in game 1, but again, it's like Dark Arm Dragon. When I draw it, I feel like I want to revolve.
That bit is dead.
I want to revolve like my next 5 plays to just be able to play the Return. Maybe that's the greed in me as like a combo player or an OTK player, or like the joy of playing the OTK. But whenever I get that card, I just want to be able to play it. But when it very rarely gets to go off because it's a long setup. Sometimes it's Wind Blast food as well if it's not that great. Or it draws out the MST or the heavy, setting that plus something else like a chainable Dust Shoot or a Wind Blast. But 9 out of 10 times I side it out for just a better trap, a more defensive trap if I need to go into that grind game. And the last card is the Answer Eating. No, sir. No, sir. No. You cannot have that. No soup for you today.
He got the shotties in the back too.
And then getting into, you want to go sideboard?
Side deck. Side deck is fun.
We'll go into the sideboard here. So
because we can skim through the.
I do 3 1-ofs in the monster sideboard, and this one right here has been really hot for me the last like 2 to 3 big tournaments I played in the California area, and that's that Sirocco.
That shit in the back is loud as shit.
The Sirocco is so freaking spicy, bro. It's hot. It's there for the Blackwing matchup, the Bayou matchup. It's also a deck Devi target, which is a side deck card that I use for plants and other things, but it's just unexpected. It's a great set for deck Devi target that they never expect, and with Diva Hero, when you're playing with deck Devi, it's a lot to make something that's 2,000 and higher and dark, and not have to go Diva, Gilman, synchro them both for a catastrophe. It's a lot of moves you have to make that are uninterrupted to get to play that deck devastation. And generally, you don't want to go through all that and eat a Bottomless. So it's just really nice to be able to go game 2, set Sirocco. So I do side it in, and to kind of counteract that, I typically side out a Caius for it. because it's still, you know, either it counts as, I guess, a tribute in that sense if I need to, so it doesn't eat that space, and it's also my normal summon. So it's a normal summon, so I'm not keeping an extra normal summon in my deck. Snowman, same thing. It goes in usually for Black Wings, and then the one Crow is just for versatility. Any decks that play Plague, Zombies, Dragon Turbo, the Mirror Match, Frogs. I just bring in the one usually because I feel like it's already a -1, and it's there, and you'll see why also because I played the Soul Release. And then I go 2 Dynas.
The boy.
MVP of the weekend, I'd say also for the sideboard. I got to use Dyna a lot more today than usual. And one thing I noticed about the list that I've seen in the past is all the Diva Hero decks that top, even the OTK versions, the grindy versions, they love Dyna. Dyna's even better if you have traps. So maining that extra 1 or 2 traps from that 8 count to that 10 count, you kind of get to back your Dyna up a little more. You feel a little bit safer. And I was able to actually keep my Dyna out at one point on Sunday in the top cut for I think like 5 or 6 turns, man.
God damn.
And he was just eating, and he was trying to find answers for it, and he couldn't. But yeah, Fossil Dyna, another good MVP to slide in. And then I go 4 spells in the sideboard.
Let's go.
We go Super Poly for that Frog or that Mirror Match. Shout out to my boy Jimmy who main decks 2.
Jimmy, holy shit, Jimmy.
Insane, bro. And then the reason why I play 1 Crow is because I do play the Soul Release. I like to get in there and just punish Frog players who aren't that great and like to dump both Frogs into their grave early on. You know, they're going second, they go first, and they just get they get their dump on, and they forget that Soul Release is a card and exists. And that, you know, that's where the zombie matchup, the YU matchup. So there are a lot of matchups. There's really graveyard heavy. Some people may say this is just a boomer card, or it's old, or it's too slow, but I tend to like it because it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 5. It's very optional, and a lot of people still don't expect it lately in the meta. And then for my destruction,
Vortex.
I do go Vortex. A lot of people play the 1 smashing to get rid of answers, you know, Christia, the Frog, the dupes. But I like the Vortex because it gives me the ability to also discard. It gives me the ability to discard a Malicious, a Plague, make plays, dump a Water, if we're getting into a grind game. But I can either clear one thing, I can clear a bunch of things, but I do love the Vortex. And then the Nobleman of Crossout is going to be strictly for that YGO hamster.
That's a bitch-ass YGO, bro.
We don't
YGO hamster.
YGOs, bro.
YGO hamster.
We don't deal with them. So like I said, YU Turbo being one of our worst matchups out there, that's their engine. That's what they drive on. But that also can go in for plant decks. All the little engines that run that hamster, Ryko, Caius, -U, grind game, that's typically for those guys. And then getting into the trap lineup, I play 2 2-ofs. So I used to play Decree, made the decision the last couple tournaments to go Dust Tornado. And the Dust Tornadoes have been giving me more kind of versatility versus playing Decrees. Because, like I said, I bumped my trap count up from 8 to 10, and I just want to be able to play those traps and not have to kind of make my decision of losing traps to bring in more traps. But Dust Tornado, more versatility, and one of the cooler plays I like to make, and I was able to do it a couple plays, is set a Dust Tornado, dust something in their end phase, set a Wind Blast. Draw on your turn, Wind Blast their monster, so set them back a turn, and then, you know, you're ditching a Mally or something, and then you kind of just get to go into your board, your setup, or you spin the second back row even. So if it's 2 back rows,
it's pretty sexy.
So it kind of avoids a lot, and that setting another spell or trap is really awesome, especially if you're holding that Wind Blast or another item to set. Pulling the rug, bro.
Oh yes, ultimate baby.
I go the 2. That's the Answer Eater for Frogs, Monarchs, the Mirror Match, no other Deep Sea Divas, but there are a lot of cards in this format that work, you know, against this. So it's really nice to bring those in and just kind of knock out that stuff. I don't have to worry about the Frogs. I don't have to worry about Monarchs, you have to have these in here. And a lot of people like 3, but I stuck with 2, and I'll opt why. I played the 1 Tech Dev. And then I opted out of the 3rd Pulling the Rug because I have this fear of like Christia existing, and that it is a card in this format. And I have a fear that there's going to be one random day I sit down and there's always going to be a Lightsworn guy. Shout out Min Pang. Min Pang is the reason why. Min Zhang is the reason why I always sideboard a light mirror at 1, even though it's a 1-of. You know, it helps if you're ever playing against that light, that Christia. Those decks that are out there, those rogue decks. So those are just to take care of the little guys, your plants. This eats at plants and frogs right here, man. That's and I pair that up with the Sirocco, like I said earlier.
Do you side that in Vayu?
Do I side that for Vayu?
Do you think that's stupid or?
So the theory, I mean, so it's kind of a 50-50 shot, right? So let's say you flip it. and their hand is YCO, Hamster, you know, and it's the good stuff, the Reaper, the YCO, the Hamster. You're like, heck yeah, that's awesome. But then if it's the other side of the coin and you're dumping, and you're dumping the Plague, the Necrogard, and the Vayu, then you're like, well, damn, that kind of sucks. So I typically don't, because although a gambling man, I don't want to gamble that hard at a 50-50. So I typically leave that out for Vayu. So when I am playing Vayu, though, I typically bring in the Tornadoes. This is going to be whether I go first or second. I bring in the Soul Release.
Wait, so if you're going first, are you siding it in or not?
So if I'm going first, I typically don't side this in.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd rather have a more impactful spell in my hand if I'm going first.
Okay. I
want all 5 cards to matter, or I guess the 6th card would matter too, but I want all 6 cards to matter. And so I typically don't. But going second, because I don't want to start off losing cards to Ryko or letting them game, I typically bring it in because it's more live in the second game than going first. So maybe that's just, I'm crazy for thinking that, but I typically don't bring that in going first. And then the Soul Release, I also bring in for them. And then weirdly, I only bring in a Dyna and then a Sirocco usually. And then sometimes
this guy is so good in Vayu and Black Wings.
So good. So
normal pump, attack for like 5,000.
Yeah. He gains the attack of all the other Black Wings out there, and he just crushes it.
Insanity.
And it's so unexpected in a lot of matchups. A lot of Black Wing players feel safe with their Armor Masters, you know, and what they got going on. And then sometimes you can just clear the back row, summon a Sirocco, pump, hit over their other stuff, and it just becomes an answer eater sometimes. He gets rid of the bottomlesses. But yeah, all in all, just a pretty vanilla side deck. Have kept it the same for a little while. Just all the good, you know, cards in Edison to take care of all the gimmicks out there. Yeah. So let's get
to the extra deck.
Extra deck here. It's pretty simple.
It's probably very
we go the Army Arm because Army Arm OTK exists. It's a playable line in this deck, and it's very easy to get to. And, you know, that combo is where you drop the Army Arm, the Colossal Fighter, you hook it onto one of your opponent's monsters that has to have at least, I believe, like around 2,100 or so to make the math work out. And then you run your Colossal Fighter under their monster infinitely to inflict infinite burn of your Colossal Fighter's attack, bringing him back. So part of the combo, gotta have that in there. And that combo is really easy to access to, whether you have the Grepher, the Infernal, the Diva, the Malicious. It's like a 3-card, 4-card combo, depending on how you play it. It's super easy to get to. My 5s, I'm gonna go the Cataster and the Android. They're there because you play Gilman, so you gotta be able to make both of those. This one, definitely an amazing card to have, especially when you're just going against the other things or the mirror match and you're dealing with other creatures out there that aren't darks. Yeah, Goyo and Brio. Goyo and Brio.
Goyo, bro.
Brio, amazing. Goyo, amazing. I don't even have to say why they exist in their best 6s.
Sexy synchro.
Best 6s in Edison format, hands down. The free Monster Reborn and the spin everything back and put you back a little bit to go for a game there. Then we go 1/7. We got the Black Rose Dragon. And then we got going into our 8s here: Stardust, Darken, Thought Ruler, and Colossal. So just the 4. Extra deck is really tight, man. Playing with heroes and synchros, and being able to make anything from 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and then you're gonna see my special 9 here. I'm going to show you here.
Show me the 9, bro.
9, the Mistworm. Bro.
Show me the 9, bro.
Access to 9 is so easy in this deck, man. It just takes a Stratos, a Grepher, and then a Diva and a Gilman, and we don't have Trish in this format. But it's nice to be able to drop a 9, spin back 3 cards, drop a Miracle, go for game. So it also sets up a lot of your plays, and it's a nice little answer eater too when you can just kind of go for 9. It works well with the mind control too. If you're mind controlling something face down or face up that's a 4, and you're trying to work it with Diva, you usually just bring out Diva, Gilman, and boom, there's a 9. So using your opponent's creature, you can bounce some other stuff back. And then the 4 heroes.
That is
the 4 superheroes.
Jump. I thought I was gonna say Jump. This is from a magazine, right?
Yeah, from the magazine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
Absolute Zero. You know, he's the MVP of the deck. You bring him out and you play him offensive or defensively. Yeah. He is a monster. He is a trap card. He is also a trap card in a sense. So when everybody knows when he leaves the field, he blows everything up. But you can play him offensively, defensively. He can be pushed for game. He can be just used as a stall. I think you saw me for a while in one of the finals matches. I just had one in defense, and my opponent couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
or else he would have lost his whole field, which was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I typically use him very, very, very offensively. I don't make Ab-Zero a lot, like I told you, unless I'm really desperate for defense, which Ab-Zero defense is a sign of desperation to me. And I think you can agree with that too.
Yeah.
Ab-Zero defense is usually a sign of desperation.
Yeah.
So I try to only make the Ab-Zero when it counts and use the Miracle Fusions when I can win.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're not winning or you're not creating a big enough play using those cards, it's not worth it at the time to make it, and that means you still need to fish for another card or two.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
This has been the deck profile for the top 3. The only Diva player in top 8, I think.
Yeah, man.
And also my beloved teammate. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy echo-YGO.
Thank you for having me, bro.
And TCG Giants signing out, bitches.